get the concert lineup. We're going to be everywhere. We're going to be in the Morial Convention Center. We're going to be at the Superdome. Now that I took a pause for the cause, let me come back to the situation at hand. I had a little empathy for a minute until I looked at the whole full circle of things. I told the individual, I said, hey, I get it. I said, everything you did was textbook and correct in the apology. But Alethea, listen to this. This is deep. I said, none of this would have ever happened if you hadn't did what was wrong from the beginning in the first place.
Facts.
I said, so here's what you didn't do. And I said, many a times we don't do this as people. You didn't count the cost of doing what you did before you did it. And you really didn't measure that the consequences would be so severe that the person would close the door.
But what people don't understand is sorry is a start, but it's not a solution. Like apologies can be powerful, but only if they come with accountability. And oftentimes people just say that they're sorry, but there's no accountability. And sorry without change is manipulation. I said what I said. Sorry without change is manipulation. Like, you cannot burn down a house and then be like, oh my God, oh my, what? Now you acting all confused because they mad because you burned down their house, and now you upset because they won't let you spend the night at their new house. What?
Right. Hold it. That's what. Hold it. Now, once again, like I said,
like, why would I do that?
Hold on. The apology was beautiful. The way everything was done would make folks who standing on the outside say the person who didn't receive the apology in a manner that we feel like it should be received is absolutely incorrect and wrong. But in all truthfulness, the manipulation is, I'm doing this. Hold it. First of all, I made a spectacle of you in public, and I made it as a joke. You received it the wrong way. Then I turned around and tried to play the, oh, but you know, I'm a good person. And it was just really just foolish banter and conversation. And like I said, textbook, I poo-pooed on you. I didn't wipe the poo-poo off of you. I let you sit there with poo-poo on you. And then when I finally realized who you were, that's what I like that the other person told me. You poo-pooed on a diamond while you were around a bunch of cubic zirconia. Now you done tested. Now you done pulled out your diamond tester to test all that cubic you were around, and you find out they fake. And you come back and hit the diamond tester on me, and you find out I'm real. You still didn't wipe the poo-poo off of me. I wiped the poo-poo off myself. But now you want to come back and be like, since me clowning the real around the fake, and the real done got pissed off, and I know the fake laughing at the whole situation because they put me up to it. What I should have did is kept my mouth closed. And guess what I told that person? I said, now you done figured it out. Here's the problem. You can't go back.
Sorry does not wash it away. Yes, it might open the door for forgiveness, but what people do not understand is forgiveness is a gift. It is not an entitlement. And some people feel like they are entitled to this. Like, I am giving you my forgiveness, but that doesn't mean that you're free from the consequences of your actions.
Once again, Alethea, I posted this, and this is before this happened. I didn't know I was going to get this call. Say that you're sorry along with repentance doesn't remove consequences, period. So this person said, but they don't know who I am. They don't know who I'm connected to. They don't know what I know. You know, closing your door to me, I'm going to close all my doors to you. But then I had to remind that person in a very calm way. Next time I see you stand in church, remember, right now you dead wrong. And just because you're supposed to be community leader, community advocate, whoever you may be, because I ain't put a gender on this thing, but just because you think you all that in a bag of chips, which you probably are, doesn't mean you free from folly or free from failure or free from making mistakes. You are not perfect. And then so that person told me, oh, seems to be you taking side. I said, I'm not on nobody's side. I'm telling you the truth about the matter. Sometimes the best thing you can do in a situation, because I said I've been there before, is tell both parties this. A, if you did what you did, you were wrong. Period. You were wrong. If the other person did something that was wrong, respond to them in the same manner. You were wrong. Both of you were wrong.
Accountability.
Both of you were wrong. However, if you the person who fired the first shot, I can't. Once you squeeze the trigger, I cannot. Once you squeeze the trigger, here's the problem. If you got a reckless mouth, once you squeeze the trigger and that bullet is gone, you don't have no control, A, where the bullet's going, unless you're an expert shot, or B, if you do hit your mark and that person survives the shot, how they gonna shoot back? And guess what? They may not shoot back in kind. You may shoot them with a gun. Hold it. I was laughing last night because somebody said, you know, Trump talking all that noise just to bring you into news. He's talking all that noise about how he dropped the bomb on Iran. Okay. But what happened to Iran, just like in something with Minister Society, Gin and Juice in South Central. Oh boy said, oh, we got a problem. He pulled out one gun. And the guy pulled out a bigger gun and said, yeah, we got a problem. Then all of a sudden, he opened up the truck, the postal truck, and said, do we? The man said, wait a minute. See, just because you shoot at me with a gun doesn't mean I ain't going to come back with a missile and try to blow up everything. So once again, before you squeeze the trigger, or before you be reckless with your mouth or with a post, you might want to count the cost of your action because you have no control over that other individual's reaction. That person does. And then you can't villainize
Aretha Franklin said it best. You better think about what you're trying to do. You better think. You better think. Think what you trying to do to me.
Hey, baby.
Because when I clap back.
Ooh, Alethea. The person on the other side of this equation who did that, who kind of said, I received the apology. I understand the repentance. And I okay, you good. Thank you. But that person said something that was so prolific to me last night. That person said, you can't slap me in the dark. You can't slap me where nobody see, because the person said a lot of people don't know what happened behind the veil. And I ain't gonna tell you what happened behind the veil, but you can't slap me in the dark, but then all of a sudden come out in the light and try to act like I'm the one who slapped you. Said you can't talk about me and dog me out around folks, but then come out. Because he said, here's the thing. And the person really made that comparison, the diamond to the cubic zirconia. The person said, because I'm a diamond. Now that cubic you around starting to crack and break and starting to tarnish and look bad. Now all of a sudden you want to come back to the diamond and say, hey, when we were together, we sure look good together. Yeah, because I'm real. Real looks good around anything. But now since you around all that fake, and now that fake, well, what's going on? Because I done shut the door shut. That person laughed at me. That person said, no, I'm not Joe Dupree. Said, guess what? when you see me sitting on my stages talking to my people, I'm not got one word for you. I dare you. The person said, I've already started making phone calls. If this person calls you and tells you we still associated, no, we're not at all. I said, oh. Said, that's what you get for your little kiki, ha ha, he he. Stay over there with them folk.
But let's make something perfectly clear. When we say shit like this, we're not mad that you didn't choose us. I'm not mad that you didn't choose me. I'm just shocked that you thought that I was in competition with plastic. Like, you really thought that I was in competition with plastic. I'm not mad. Mad. Because you fumbled something rare trying to chase something that shines loud and breaks easily. And you thought, I'm not mad. Choose them.
Hold it.
But know what you chose.
Understand. I tell people this all the time. Know what you chose. There's a difference. We have a place here called Michael's. That's where you go to buy your Rolex, your Breitlings, your high-end jewelry. There's a difference between Michael's and Claire's. Now, Claire's, there's a difference. I'm just saying. See, Michael's got two armed security guards. Hey, don't everybody get into Michael's. Sometimes you have to have an appointment to go to Michael's to get whatever it is you're trying to get. And everybody can't go into Michael's, just like everybody can't go into the Bentley store. Everybody can't go into the Rolls Royce store. Everybody can walk around the Kia lot. And don't get me wrong, Kia got some nice stuff. Everybody can walk around the Ford lot. Ford got some nice stuff. But everybody can't walk into Rolls Royce or Bentley and just walk around and act like they at home. No. And sometimes you got to realize what you got, because when it's gone, it's gone. You know, and I just had to kind of kick back and reflect on my life, and woke up this morning. And what happened? You do wake up that you're bitter. You know what? You know, it's okay to not be okay. Sometimes, though, as on both sides of the equation, because I will say this, I was really totally against the person who now I feel is right, because I had to think about it. The person said, Joe, if you got a problem with me, it's easy to get in contact with me and let me know you got a problem with me. But don't go on social media trying to ruin me, trying to do this. And then here's the thing. Say you done did, and say you've been steadily doing this. And I've been steadily here kind of turning a blind eye going, that's my people. Nah, we good. No, you've been throwing shade at me since day one. But I let you in, tried to be good to you, tried to do the right thing, opened doors, showed love. Said, that person gave me a list, and I said, ooh, never looked at it that way. That person said, let me tell you what I did that nobody knew about. I said, well, said on the reciprocal side, let me tell you what I got back. And I said, oh, all I could do is this. Oh. One person said, then you got the mitigated gall and audacity to try to make it seem like I'm a problem. I said, oh. But
don't rewrite the story now just because you're scared of how the truth makes you look. Do not rewrite your story. Stick to the script that you had, but now you want to rewrite it because you scared of how the truth makes you look. Stick to your story, baby.
Here's what really made me laugh about it. The person said I was good until the person went from 0 to 100 because I didn't respond or reply to their apology in the manner that the cubic, not only them, but those who I was clowned around said I should have responded to. Said, wait a minute, you can't tell me how to feel about me and about something that you did to me when you literally pooed on me and didn't even hold it and just left the poo there. I'm gonna poo on you and let the poo there. I'm not gonna poo. I'm gonna poo and leave the poo there for you to clean the poo off yourself. But the person said, you know what's funny? Now they need me. Now they realize they need me. Because they said that first move made a good friend of ours say, well, I ain't in this, but let me do this. I'm gonna back away. And since I'm good with both of y'all, I'm not funding you no more. And no, I'm not funding them no more. So here's the thing. It made me laugh. Person said what they didn't realize was that funding was Lagniappe anyway. Am I hurt because I missed it? Yes, I am. However, it ain't shutting down my business. Said the other person, think they might have needed those few little coins. Said sometimes you got to weigh the consequences of your actions. You over here thinking the grass is greener for whatever reason on the other side, not understanding that ain't real grass.
It's turf. It's turf. But you over here just excited. Ooh, look at this nice green grass. Oh, it's just so nice, and everybody gonna love my grass. And then you realize that grass is really turf, and then underneath that is just nasty ass dirt and shit. But you just so excited for something that's not even real. For something that's not real, when all you really had to do was water what you had, take care of what you had, treat what you had good. And that could have been just as green.
And so the person said to me something that blessed my soul. Like I said, I got it too last night. So, and I didn't go from 0 to 100. I told the person, you're right. Person said, you know what was really funny about the whole conversation? Said that person then read me my rights through their resume. You know what I do. You know who I am. Blah, blah, blah. This. And that person said what that person doesn't know. And the person shared it with me last night. And I said, I may talk about this in the morning. And I don't want to say names, agendas. But that person said, what this person don't know is I just got offered last week a VP job at a major corporation where I was actually going to help them get into some places and some spaces too in the company. I said, wow, vice president of a major company. And then the person said, but you know what? I'm going to use what somebody once told me about you. Yeah, he worked for government, but guess what? If old boy don't get elected, we're going to make sure he never get in government again. He said, this person could never get around me again. Said, because when the announcement come out, that person going to be like, but said, God has a funny way when folk do you wrong, that God will elevate you. And the person opened up the word and said, somewhere I read in this book, it says, he will prepare a table for you in the presence. Said sometimes you gotta. Said sometimes you think these folk are your people, and you trying to wonder why God is blessing you around certain folks, and you think you being blessed around your people who are clapping for you in the background, but he literally prophetically showing you that I am preparing a table for you in the presence of your enemy. You think it's your friend, but it's really your frenemy. That person appears to be a friend to you, but God knows their heart and their soul. And so he going to prepare a table before them just to let them know, yeah, you patting them on the back, but in your heart and in your soul, you can't stand this person. You can't stand this person. You really mad because they succeeding and you're not. So guess what? I'm going to keep on blessing them until you get your heart and your spirit right. Because you the person who receiving the blessing, you think you being blessed in front of your friends. You actually at home going, oh, thank you, Lord God. Not only am I winning, I'm winning around the group of folk I want to win with. When God's saying, unbeknownst to you, because you don't have the discernment spirit, I'm preparing the table before the presence of your enemies, not your friends. I'm blessing you in front of folks who are smiling in your face, but every day they hate you. And that is a dangerous person, a person who you believe is on your side. When they are with you, they steadily plotting and planning your demise and smiling in your faces if they want to see you succeed, when really they can't help. They can't help themselves because they are waiting for the day for you to fall on your face where they can say, But that person told me, I'm so happy that this person pooed on me the way they did, because had I got this job and they had not pooed on me before, they would have been in the company with me somewhere doing something big. And guess what? That would have been my demise and my blessing, because I would have brought somebody in who only was waiting for me to coattail them in to get them somewhere where they could literally leapfrog me. I was like,
see, this is where that exact scripture is where be great in their faith came from. That is exactly what, because when I was in church and they were talking about that, I was like, well, why I gotta be bitter? Why I have to be unbothered? I'm gonna let them be unbothered on that same bitter ass tea that they brewed themselves. Baby, you threw shade and God gave me a light. You tried to block my blessing, but God made me the billboard. Honey, you cannot stop what God had for me. And instead of me being bitter, I'm gonna be great, and I'm gonna do it in your face, so you can watch me eat. You can watch me eat real good, real good. I mean, because I am now the whole table, and you will be begging to sit with me.
20 minutes to the top of the hour on this Tell the Truth Tuesday. And you know, I let both sides say what they had to say. And guess what? Both sides had a form of righteousness on both sides. I applaud the individual for saying they sorry, for publicly saying, because many a time folks will do you bad in public but want to apologize to you in private.
Yes.
So I applaud the person who did that. On the receiving end, at first I was a little sketchy, but now after further review and a little overnight sleeping, I really got a big applause for the receiver. Because the receiver said, okay, I received that and I receive it in love. However, the door is shut.
Yes.
And then here's what gets me. When you got a person who normally don't quote a lot of scripture, but they hitting you with a lot of scripture. See, that lets you know God is all of a sudden in them and talking through them. Because the person said, I'm shutting the door like God did with the virgins. God said, hold on. So wait a minute. You didn't have enough oil in your lamp to sustain the whole time in case I'm a little late? Nah, y'all good. Since you wasn't prepared, the door is closed, and only the ones that are inside here, they belong in here. They were prepared to be in here. But because you, and guess what? I ain't saying you're bad. I just saying you can't come in this door. And the person said, you do know, Joe, when this announcement is made? And the person blessed me. Said, now I'm going to bless you with something. I got something for you. I'm letting you know the announcement's being made. And I know you've been begging folks for sponsorships. Said begging folks. Said there's some folk out there who could have threw you $1 here, a dime here. Said, look, okay, yeah, Joe, I know you're going to Essence. I got you. Person said, don't worry about it. And I don't need you to talk about products and services and nothing. I got you. See, God got a funny way. See, there are folk out there right now mad at you, Alethea, because you done linked up with me and we going to Essence. It's Tell the Truth. Tuesday. It's Tell the Truth Tuesday. But guess what? And they'll call you on the cool and try to talk slick about me. Oh, you better watch Joe Dupree. But they won't tell you how I opened doors for them. Yeah. See, folks got mad when Josh Guillory came and got me because I didn't go and ask their permission. Can I get your permission for this man to hire me for this position and increase my income and make life better for me and my family? Oh, I need to ask your permission because guess what? You want me to do good, but you don't want me to do better than you. And some of you don't want to have to come to me and ask me to get to him because you done talk bad about me. You done hold it and watch this. Let me raise my hand as as a good friend of mine who will be vice president very soon of a major Fortune 500 company said, I did some wrong stuff. I am not blameless or shameless. I did some stuff. I lied. I made some mistakes. But guess what? Even in my mistake making and in my lying and doing things incorrect, God still forgave me, blessed me, and elevated me. And if you want to be mad at God. But the problem is you're mad with me because your arms is too goddamn short to box with God.
Ooh.
So instead of boxing with God, you want to box with me. Okay, baby, you box in the shadow because I ain't even fighting this fight because God told me in his word. Ooh, last night I got preached to. God told me in his word, I will prepare a table for you in the presence of thine enemy. And the person told me, and I thought this person was my friend.
Of course.
But God's word is so true. I'm going to elevate you in the presence. This person smiling in your face and going at home and night going, I can't stand her or him. Why? Why? Stop asking why and start being thankful for where you at, how God has you there and how he is maintaining you. And the problem with most of y'all is y'all too busy looking at other folks instead of looking at yourself. Guess what? The worst thing you can tell me, there's when I used to do gospel music, there was a song I used to love. It said, sweep around your own front door.
Yes.
Before you try to sweep around mine. Some of y'all trying to clean my house and your house is dirty and a mess.
Filthy.
Some of y'all got the mitigated gall to talk about how I'm looking in the clothes I'm wearing, and y'all look a mess 24/7, 365. And guess what? Joe. I'm not out here calling you out. I'm saying this. If you would take as much time to take care of your own affairs as you would trying to take care of mine, imagine where you would be, because I ain't taking care of yours. I could care less anymore. I help, hold it. I post this every day, not for you, but for me. Help who you can help. Fix what you can fix. Everything else, let go and let God. I genuinely love and help people. You can be out there talking about me like a dog right now. Tell them about the times when I showed you love. Tell them about the times I helped you. And tell them about the times I opened doors and got you into rooms and spaces that you couldn't get yourself in. And I knew you were in there trying to figure out how he do it. Favor ain't fair, baby. I don't know how I do it. You asking how I do it. You asking them how I do it. Hell, I don't know how I do it. But
God do.
But watch this. I never did it to put me in a place where look at me and I'm looking down at you. I can name, hold on, let me, in 31 years of holding these credentials, 31 years, I can name a plethora of folks I have opened the door for. And let me say this open and publicly. Since y'all want to shoo and try to figure it out, I'm going to tell you why Alethea Crimmins and Ignatius Carmouche are going to be at the Essence Music Festival of Culture. Hold it. Last year's credentials only got me, and as much as I have done for Essence, last year's credentials only got me into the Montreal Convention Center. I literally had to have tickets and sit in general admission like everybody else during the concert series. I didn't even go into the press room but one time because a person knew me and said, hey, that's my man. Why ain't you in the press room? I said, well, I didn't get credentials for the Superdome. What? Person worked for Essence, said, no, you coming with me right now. We're going to fix this. Now, sometimes you're not supposed to be in the room because once you get in the room, you figure out why God kept you out the room. And after being in that room for 2 hours and ain't really nothing happening, I was like, that's why God didn't have me in this room. This room ain't conducive to what I'm trying to do. So I told the person, thank you for allowing me in the room. But this, y'all only had one person come through and don't nobody really know that artist. So the person said, well, let me take you backstage. See, a humble heart will get you elevated without you asking for elevation. So I went backstage. Now I'm dapping up with folks that remember me from when I worked with Tom Joyner, when I worked with Doug Banks, when I've been there at Essence for now, this is my 31st year. Hey, Joe, what's going on, JD? What's boom, boom, boom? You know, so this year, and it was so funny. This year, off the rip, I get my credentials approved, and they said, y'all are VIP everywhere. Not only you, I sent it to Alethea where it wouldn't be, you gotta watch Joe. You know, Joe known to say one thing, and it's no, baby. I sent it straight to her from Essence. It said not only Joe, but Alethea and Ignatius. I did that because God told me to. God said, I'm going to send an uncommon person your way. And Joe, you may not even agree with me when I send this person, but you bless them as if it was yourself. And don't worry about you. I'm going to take care of you. See, sometimes you got to be obedient to blessing God and blessing folks that other folks tell you, why are you messing with them? Wait a minute. Isn't she? No. Wait a minute. See, because you got to understand. Y'all out. I'm looking for it. There it is. See, in this book right here, there's a lot of stories of God blessing folk that y'all folk would say they weren't worthy of the blessing. Right. I think Noah drank and was a drunkard, but God said, let me save Noah and his family to, along with 2 of everything, to start this thing over when I destroy everything and restart this thing. See, but you be one of these aristocrats going, why did he choose Noah? I don't know why he chose Noah, because Noah's outside was ugly, but his inside might have been beautiful. He might have been the most drunken person on the planet, but his heart might have been one of the purest hearts around here. So he might have been, you know, hold it. Jacob was a liar. Last time this book here that some of y'all covered so dearly. In this book, Jacob, the liar, the trickster, the person who literally everything he inherited through a trick. God didn't take his inheritance away from him. God changed his name to Israel. Y'all don't want me to go there. But see, last night.
But we're so busy judging people for how they look or how they may seem on the outside without even really knowing them. We're so busy judging them off of what we see or what other people tell us that they are, that you will never really know who they are on the inside. You will never really know what heart they have. They may have a beautiful heart, a beautiful spirit, a beautiful soul, but you're so fixated on the outside that some of us miss our blessings of even knowing them and knowing that they could bless you in a major way if you just took the time to know them.
Only God knows the number of hairs on your head. Only God knows what plans he has for you, because where you at today may not be where you at tomorrow. See, that's the problem. Too many of y'all want to be the guide of folks' life, and y'all want to get the credit for where they at, where they going, and where they been. There's only one person that gets the credit for that. That's God. So you can hate as much as you want to hate. You can talk as much as you want to talk. I came on here with 8 minutes left to this broadcast on this Tell the Truth Tuesday to tell y'all the truth. It's okay not to be okay. And you can wake up bitter and not better. But what you don't need to do is in your bitterness, not do a self-evaluation to ask yourself, what did I do to contribute to this series of unfortunate events that have befallen my life? Because once again, in all of this, you either one or the other. You either the person who did what you did and now you're dealing with the consequences of what you did, or you the individual who allowed it to get done to you. Either way, you had the final say. And if you didn't have the final say, another mistake you did was you went to God after the fact instead of going to God before it happened and said, God, let me talk to you. I'm thinking about doing something. I'm thinking about saying something. I'm thinking about, is this proper and is this good And is this pleasing unto you? Because too many times y'all try to be people pleasers and not God pleasers. That's why you talk to God after the fact and try to get him to co-sign instead of letting him be the pilot and get you from point A to point B. You try to get there on your own and get him to co-sign to whatever it is that you decided to do instead of asking him, what is your will and your way? Y'all too busy saying, it's my will and it's my way. And what you need to do is jump in and ride with me. No, baby. No, baby. No, baby. When it comes down to the Most High, to God himself, you know, I heard a pastor preach this weekend. He is a jealous God. So that means you should have came to him first. Not in the end. And that's the problem. Too many of us really don't want it the way God told us we need to get it. We want to get it the way the world told us to get it. So the lesson that should be learned on this Tell the Truth Tuesday, 6 minutes to the top of the hour, is that if you have a diamond in your hand and it's one diamond, understand, understand it's worth more than 2,000 cubics. Because them 2,000 cubics are fake. Ain't nothing but glass. And if you take that diamond and you run it across all 2,000 will break and shatter, while that diamond will still be the same diamond it was in the beginning. So sometimes the greater number of folk going kiki ha ha don't mean nothing, because all it takes is one reel to win, while 2,000 fakes will be over there still doing the same thing they were doing when they were doing it from the beginning. That is stealing, backbiting, hating, smiling in your face, but always plotting behind your back to either take your idea, to take your job, to talk about I knew they'd never make it. Learn to keep your mouth closed. But understand this, and this is for all the haters out there.
Come on.
When you squeeze that trigger, before you squeeze it, you might want to ask yourself, are you really willing to deal with the consequences
that come after,
that come therefrom after everything is said and done? Because just like in the movie, do we have a problem? You don't know what folks might have in their arsenal after you done shot your shot that will be their return shot, because it might not come from the same manner that you shot at them. While you shooting a gun at them, they might drop the bomb on you. I'm just saying.
And sometimes I don't even have to walk in with my tool out. Baby, I will let you do what you do because I know whose I am. So you can throw whatever weapon my way. But God said that no weapon formed against me shall what? Prosper. So baby, you gonna do your best, and I'ma laugh and I'ma let my Father do the rest.
That part. So it's 3 minutes, family. 3 minutes to the top of the hour. It's time for us to get up out of here. We done gave you 1 hour of power on this Tell the Truth Tuesday. Here's what I got from everything that I've been dealing with in the last 24 hours. Count the cost. Truly put God first and understand the following. You can be wrong. You can be right. What you need to be is in a place where, regardless how it goes, God is with you. Because when God is with you, you ain't got nothing to worry about. Forget what people say. People will be the same people that's laughing today will be the same people crying tomorrow. Alethea, give me some closing words and let's get up out of here. Let's get up out of here.
Listen, do not be so stuck on the packaging that you miss the gift. The same person that you judge might be the very person that will bless you and change your life. So go out there, be great in their face, but also be great in your own. And as always, y'all have a good day on purpose here. You're welcome.
That part. On the behalf of Sister Alethea, yours truly, Joe Dupree. Sister Jax, who's been in the chat, she's at home recovering. Get well, Jax. Get well, get well. Brother Elijah Nixon, who is on assignment. He had a big sports story, so we'll be back tomorrow with sports. Sean P with that Sean P experience out there getting them books together. Sean probably just getting off work. You never know who might come on here, when they'll come on here. But let me tell you this. I need you to be better. Be better. Not bitter. But if you're bitter, it's okay. It's okay not to be okay. Just sometimes when you're not being okay, keep to yourself. Don't put it out on social media. Go to God in prayer in your own privacy of your own confinement. Go through it with you and God by yourself in a place by yourself. Everybody don't need to know what you're going through. That part. Be better today than you were yesterday. And do something today to be a blessing to somebody somewhere that no matter what you do, there's no earthly way they can pay you back. And always remember that there is no secret, absolutely no secret what God can do. What he has done for others, he will and he can do for you. For when God is with you, nothing or no one can stand against you. Y'all be blessed. Have a wonderful Tuesday. Work It Out Wednesday. I'll be here in the morning. We'll be back for another episode of Hashtag Truth Be Told. JD Live. We'll catch you later. Have a great day. We out of here. Peace.